Welcome to Tactical Reviews for a look at the Benchmade Bugout. The Bugout being a model that you should know about. It's a lightweight folder from Benchmade, and in this video we're looking at the lightest weight version of this lightweight folder, the carbon fibre version. So here we are, fresh out of the box. So this comes in a cloth bag with a use and care manual. Benchmade's logo on the cloth bag. Inside there's a little pocket clip protector that's also telling you about Benchmade's axis lock, and we'll take a closer look at that in a minute. Before we come in really close, this is just for an idea of overall size, handling and operation. So we have the Benchmade axis lock and dual thumb stud, pocket clip with alternate side fixing, and now we come in nice and close. So carbon fibre scales with blue highlights on the thumb studs and the spacer and lanyard fixing. 3 screw holes so you can change the side the pocket clip is attached. Axis lock as we look at the operation as we open the blade. Unlock by drawing that back. A classic blade shape of the Bugout. Here we are in S90V steel. Sort of jimping within the liner to give you extra grip. You can just about see the phosphor bronze washers and a little bit of how the liner is inset into the handle material. And a quick size comparison here with the Benchmade Bugout next to the Benchmade Weekender, the Spyderco Delica 4 and a Victorinox Pioneer. And that same comparison line up here with the blades open. So the Bugout next to the Weekender, next to a Spyderco Delica 4 and the Victorinox Pioneer. Moving on to the detailed technical measurements for the Benchmade Bugout, and it's the carbon fibre version. So first up, although it doesn't have a belt pouch necessarily, it comes with a little storage pouch, so I'm going to include this in those measurements. So weight with sheath or pouch is 62.35 grams, and without the pouch 57.35 grams. So folded length is 10.8 centimeters. As we could remove the clip, I'm going to just measure the width of the handle, and we have a maximum there of 11 millimeters. Overall length 18.9 centimeters. Blade length is 82 millimeters. So we already covered the handle thickness. The handle depth now, not including the finger swell, but really where we're just gripping it, and that's 23.7 millimeters. Let's have a look at the balance point, although this is with the clip included, so that would change without. .2 centimeters from the tip. Blade thickness 2.2 millimeters. The grind is a flat grind. Grind length 20.6 millimeters, and at that same point the blade depth 24.1 millimeters. So we're going to measure the primary bevel angle. Looks nice and fine, and this is 5 degrees 10 minutes. Laser edge bevel protractor to measure the factory edge bevel angles. And this is a quick attempt to try and show something you don't normally get to see in the technical measurements part because it's not visible, and it's the measurement of the factory edge bevel using a laser edge bevel protractor. So sitting the edge into the guide grooves, then turn the laser on. The very, very bright spots that you see either side of the cutout at the top are the laser beam reflecting off the primary bevel. So in order to get the blade properly centered, what we actually look to do is get those bright spots equally distant on that gap above the blade. Then you can see, although not so clearly, but the shape of the reflected laser off the edge and where it crosses the scale. So for the Bugout, the measurements that I found were that it wasn't exactly the same either side, and you can see here how on the left of the image the crossing of that center line is around the 16-degree mark, but on the right hand side it's way over into the 22 sort of zone. So that's a little insight into the laser edge bevel protractor measurements. So point angle, point angle is 57 degrees. Thickness behind the edge, I'd expect this to be quite nice and fine. And we have 0.50 millimeters. And if we look at rake here, it's effectively a straight knife. So 0 degrees rake, and onto the factory edge sharpness measurements. Center 183 grams. Heel 236 grams. And a tip 188 grams. Thank you for joining me, and remember, get informed, be prepared, stay sharp.